Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode here on the Hermitcraft Amplified server, and I want to start this episode off by saying thank you for all of you for the lovely feedback on the last episode. Seems like a lot of you really liked the time lapses that we did. Gotta say, I've absolutely been loving using the replay mod to make time lapses, and a lot of you pointed out though that a few of the things are a little bit unnecessary, like the kind of camera roll where we sort of went upside down and the sideways shots and things like that. And yeah, I was trying to show off all the different things you could do with the replay mod, more so than make, you know, the ideal time lapse. As time goes by, I'll learn more things about that program, and the time lapses will get better and better. But look at this tunnel, isn't it absolutely lovely? It's a fleet of work as well, because man, a lot of materials and time have gone into this, and it's going to be so worth it every time we ride up and down. But in between episodes, I've had no time to do anything. I've been a very busy bee going to gigs and trying to record videos in between. And I've been to all of my gigs now. I went to 3 in a row. For those of you that are interested, I saw Korn on Thursday. Then the day after, I saw Cypress Hill at Lovebox Festival. And the following day, I saw Snoop Dogg as well, which was so cool. Like 3 of my favourite artists there, back-to-back days. It's been exhausting, but we're now back here on the Hermitcraft server, and I'm ready to get going. And I've been sort of informed to some extent that something's going down at my base over here. So I am recording. As I approach it, I'm expecting to find something on the other side, and I guess I'm expecting something, but I don't know what to expect, if that makes sense. I think it does. So, here we go. Oh, there we go, straight away I've spotted something. Okay, so is there anything else over in these areas? Doesn't appear to be so. And, oh, a little bit of a spoiler. What is this? Can I guess? I have no idea. Let's go and have a look at this. What is that? I have no idea what that is. It kind of looks like some sort of controller, or like, is that a button? I really have no idea what this is. This is a very peculiar looking prank, and yes, it would appear that I have been pranked. Let's go read these signs. Dear Asuma, I heard that you recently have been having GPU issues. Oh god, it looks like a graphics card. I get it now. So I thought I'd fix them by building you a new one. It's even got liquid cooling, Mumbo. Do you know what? That is absolutely amazing. And yes, I've had problems. Oh, look, and you got the little stick on the side that you plug into your motherboard. That is terrific. I gotta say, now that I know what it is, it really does look like one. And there's so many little details as well, like that little bit off there on the side. Oh, you got the display ports at the back. That's so cool. Got your HDMI, your DVI. Whatever it is you have. So, to update you all on what's been going on, I basically brought a new graphics card. The new graphics card didn't work with my rendering software, and it didn't feel like getting a new software and learning it was the best idea, because it would take me a very long time. So, in a search for a solution, I had quite a lot of difficulties, but eventually decided to go with this idea that we could put my old graphics card and a new one in the computer together. And that has actually worked. That's how it's working right now. At the moment, I haven't set up my recording yet to get 1080p Minecraft. That's coming soon. That'll take a little bit of testing and figuring out. But both graphics cards are in there. And here's a little funny story for you. If I now pick the new graphics card to render with, previously when it was in the computer by itself, it would say no, it wouldn't render anything. But now that the other card is in there, it does actually render with the new one. And the new one is about 20% faster, and that is absolutely bizarre. And I've got a feeling if I take the old one out, it'll stop working. So somehow we fooled the graphics card into into working. It's a strange situation, that's for sure. So I don't think there's anything underneath here. We've got a zombie spawner just over there. I was wondering if it had done something with it, you know, like zombies going up the water tube. No, he's not going to do that. This is a water cooling system, as we now know, now that we've read the signs, and I don't think there's actually too much more to it. It's just a very cool build. I've got to say, when it comes to pranking, sometimes they arrive in your base and it's one of those deals where you're going to be taking it down and it's kind of hollow on the backside. We should probably throw up some torches over there so mobs don't spawn. And then sometimes it's the sort of thing where it's a little bit of art and you don't really want to get rid of it because it looks so cool. And this is one of those instances for sure. It looks awesome, I love it, and it needs lighting up. I think what we'll do is keep it in our base for a while until we need that space for something else. Also, what's happened to my beacons? Have I been beacon robbed? Where are they? There should be 4 beacons right here, and they're gone. My beacons have been pinched. Oh. Maybe there's like a reason for that. I guess I'll have to ask in chat. But my beacons are gone somewhere else. That is really quite strange. But anyway, Mumbo, if you're watching, thank you. I really like it. It's awesome. Very much suits what's going on at the moment. And good news, we've got a solution. But this does, of course, mean that I've got to get Mumbo back. And I have a brilliant idea. A brilliant idea indeed. But I would like to hear your ideas as well. So feel free to leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think we should do to get back at Mumbo. As I said, I do have an idea. But if someone has a better one, we'll always go with the best option. But for now, I'm going to try and find out what's happened to my beacons. That is so bizarre that they are not there. The mystery is solved. There is a chest here. It's got the beacons in. I guess Mumbo took it down to like take a screenshot, or probably while he was building this. It would have been right in the way if you wanted to have a look at it. So that mystery has been solved. Awesome. Let's go get some iron to you know, set them back to their settings. And we're going to head back into the Nether because I really want to finish things up with the tunnel and the things that we've been doing there in the Nether. This episode we want to wrap all of that up so we can finally move on to something else. It's been pretty crazy putting that all together. And look at these chests, so disorganized. I cannot wait to get our storage system done because then we can put all of this in there and no longer have this headache where I come over here and there's just chests all over the place. It is a little bit ridiculous. Anyway, I'll meet you back in the Nether once I've sorted these beacons out. So we're back here in the tunnel. Absolutely love this place, and we're going to be discussing the plan for the episode. We're going to be doing a little bit of redstone and finishing this tunnel off. Now first things first, I've done a little bit of preparation around here. So I've replaced all of the redstone at the back. It works again, and I saw your comments, some of you saying it was so silly if he builds it out of wood again. Well, I don't think we're going to have any ghast spawning down here, so it should be safe for now. And when we finish doing the redstone we're going to do in this room in a moment, we'll be able to then cover up the walls and it'll all be hidden and it'll be safe. And what we'll probably do is put a layer of glass up here as well. Actually, that'll look pretty good, won't it? Yes. So I've moved the chests out of the way. Don't know why I chose to put them where I knew we were going to be building. That was a little bit silly. So I put it over here on this side. And the reason that I chose this instead of that is because I think there's going to be room on this side to have an ice track that goes all the way down to the other end. Now this isn't going to be anything fancy. We're going to put it going through the netherrack. We have packed ice and trapdoors on the bottom, and then that way you can run really fast down there if you fancy running instead of using the minecart system. But the minecart system is what we're going to focus on next, and the entire time that I've been doing this I have had a plan for how this is going to work, and I'm going to give you a little hint. Can you see that? Can you see the stake? You can just about see a glimpse of it when I click. That is really odd. Yes, if we look down there, you can see the other end of the tunnel. In fact, if we stand all the way back here, you can still see it. And that's really important because it means that end of the tunnel is loaded when this end is tunnel. When this end is tunnel? Words. Yes, when this end is loaded, that end is loaded. We know this. It means we can send a redstone signal from one end to the other. And the reason that we want to do that is the same reason that we have two tracks here in the middle, because we're going to have one minecart on either line. Alright, take two. Let me explain that again. We're going to have a minecart on either rail, and the minecarts are always going to be at opposite ends. So when you come down here, you'll have a minecart waiting for you to sit in, and there'll be one at the other end. So when you get inside this one, we're going to run a redstone signal that goes all the way down to the other end. So you get in, and off it goes, and then the minecart at the other end will come all the way back down thanks to that redstone signal. So it means that when you get to that end, there'll also be a minecart at this end. And basically, whatever side you're coming to this tunnel from, whatever way you're approaching it, there's always going to be a minecart there. And each time you use it, it's going to send one back to the other end. And I think that's a pretty smart way of doing it. The only downside I can see is if you have multiple people that want to use it. Like, let's say you come over here with a group of the hermits and, you know, you get in and then it goes down to the end. They've got to wait for the other one to come all the way back, which is the only downside. But since it's a tunnel to my base, I think it's a good idea since it's my little area of Hermitcraft and not a sort of public transport route, if you know what I mean. So I think it's going to work out and it's going to be pretty cool to put together. That's why we needed the other end loaded, by the way, so that the redstone signal could activate the minecart at the opposite end. And what we're going to do right now is build a little bit of a station for you to get in, and I've already kind of designed this, so I think I'm just going to build it, put it in this place and show you it when it's done. So I've just gotten started here. Turns out I've run into a little bit of a problem straight away, one that I knew about, and also we have just enough space to squeeze this thing in front of that. So I'm hoping that it looks good. We'll build it once and then maybe we might actually push it back into this space a little bit. But anyway, the problem is with these rails, and it's why there isn't two at the end like this, because they all connect in that direction. And for those of you that have played this before, there is this bias to connect in this direction, which is, where is it, east? east-west as opposed to north-south. So when you're putting rails down side by side like this, you can't go that one, then that one, or they join together, which is a little bit annoying, and it makes building this tricky. Although now that I think about it, all we need to do really is put an extra rail there, I think, and then it means that these ones are already connected, so we can, well, then put one there if I had a powered rail. So I need to make some more of those, but then we can remove this one after, and that's what we need at the end here, because this is sort of in the ground so that you can walk up to it and get in the minecart. Do you know what? Now that it's down there, that's where the minecart's going to be. This is too low. Yeah, you're going to pop down here and it's going to be right in front of you straight away. I'm not sure that's going to work. So this is starting to take shape, and I'm not sure if I did enough redstone to actually... Yeah, no, I did do enough to show you this in action. So there's going to be a bit of string above this rail right here, and when you get in the minecart that'll be on this, you'll update the string, which will update the piston, the equivalent of doing this. And you saw there the timing might need a little bit of work, but it powers the rail and a block gets pushed up from behind to send you on your way. And there it goes again because I broke the block. So when you come down the bottom here, I feel like this is just the right kind of amount of space. We could have pushed it back one block further, but I think, or maybe it wouldn't have been that bad. Let's actually just experience dropping down on this thing and see what it's like. So, oh, there you go. You drop down, hold down space, and you've got to walk forward a little bit. So you just walk forward a little bit less. We might be able to pull all of this back by one block. But anyway, let me show you what I'm thinking about at the moment. The way that the redstone is at the front here, it takes up quite a lot of space. And it would take up a fair bit less, you know, if we drop this down by one, which we've already found out doesn't feel quite right. So if you're like coming down here and looking into the tunnel, this kind of obstructs the view. So what I'm thinking is we might be able to change some of these blocks here to glass. And the reason that they're there is to stop you actually doing that, which you can already do. So that's completely pointless. I don't know what I was thinking there, but there's going to be string, and the idea was to block the player from using the string. So actually it could probably just be a bit more open like that, and that doesn't look so bad. So we might reposition this, but you can see that the redstone goes right up against the edge. You can see the torch down there and the repeater, and I think actually that looks pretty cool. So we'll try and incorporate that into like the final design. So it's very clean, straightforward, easy to build. You can see what's going on here. Just filled it all in with cyan clay basically, and I think it actually looks pretty cool. But on this side the floor just looks a little bit bare, and this guy right here has literally been walking into every space I've been trying to build with. I've almost hit him several times. What I'm thinking might just make this pop out a little bit is if we add something in the corner here. So I've no idea if this is going to work or not, but it's going to add some light to the room, which is important, and a little bit of colour as well. That could probably go one block high. I didn't want it to go all the way up because, well, actually, there's nothing stopping us because that's the corner. I was thinking we wouldn't want it there, but there really isn't anything stopping us. So let's just check the pick. Down to 21. I've been keeping my eye on that. Let's see what it looks like going all the way to the top then. Oh, no, wrong one. And you're just going to break. Ha! There we go. Oh, and I'm going to break that as well. No silk touch. And that, actually, I'm not so sure it looks as good when it goes from top to bottom. Yeah, I think there kind of needs to be a limit on it. So we've got two things right here. This has sort of been done again in the corner. Kind of looks alright, but I think this one looks a lot better. And now I realise that I'm fussing over this too much. All of this right here is absolutely fine. What we're going to do is repeat everything down the other end. We're going to get some string so we can get this thing working, and then we can focus on wiring up to the redstone, which I'm not quite sure how it's going to work. I think we're just going to have 2 lines of redstone on either side. They might need to both be bidirectional as well. I am actually not sure in the slightest how this is going to work, but of course it's redstone. It shouldn't be too difficult of a challenge, so we'll get this finished down the other end and then we can focus on that. Okay, welcome to the other end. I like how this turned out. It's so clean and pleasant, all of this grey, but it does feel like it's lacking something. The ceiling, by the way, I think I'm going to put some lava up there. That'll look really cool, so I need to grab some buckets. And on this side over here, do you know what? I forgot to do something. I was going to put some sea lanterns at the other end here, so let's quickly do that. It should make the tunnel a little bit brighter. And how am I going to do this? Oh yeah, you can now place blocks when you're in the portal frame. You never used to be able to do that, and then they changed it. Awesome. Yeah, that looks really cool actually. The texture of it behind it as well as the light. And then over on this side, this all being kind of open like this probably actually Looks a little bit naff. So what we should do is... Actually, if we just block it off here. Like that. That doesn't look so bad. Also, these blocks on the side. But yeah, we've got our ice path going down the side. So if you didn't know, this trick, basically you have the trapdoors here. So you still get the ice effect. And then when you tap spacebar, you're going to go very, very fast. And look at that. Look how close we're getting to the other end. That is insane. I've forgotten like how fast they were. It's been ages since I used one of those. That's very cool. And obviously it's going to use up a load of food because you're jumping. So we've got to grab some lava. I need more carpet, so I've ran out. So I need to go to the sheep farm, which I'll probably do another time. And yeah, the next thing we're going to do is the redstone wiring. So I think it's going to be quite simple. We're going to have a signal that goes from here to the other end, and one that goes from the other end to down here. So when either one of these get activated, we send a signal into the other line. And as soon as I say this, I realise there's a problem. Well, there could potentially be a problem. It's going to send a signal down to the other end. So the same thing at the other end. When that signal comes down, it's going to activate the bottom part of this. Let's go and have a look. I don't think this is actually going to cause a problem, because this doesn't back power. Let's have a look. Or maybe it does. It does back power. We need a way to activate these two without it being back powered, basically. Because then, when the signal arrives from the other end, it's going to activate the whole thing, which means the signal goes back again, and they're just going to loop back and forth. So, I'm going to need to adjust the redstone here to do that. But once we find a solution, then it's pretty simple. Just install a wire underneath on either side, and then it should be good to go. So good news, it looks like this is going to be possible after all. I was fearing the worst. I did a little test. In fact, we could even recreate it right now. If we power this part, you see that? It didn't activate these. Didn't do anything to them. Now, I'm not going to mess around with that string that updates them right now, but it means that we can power this without setting the thing back off again. So if the signal from the other side comes all the way down here, now it goes underneath this piece of netherrack because we need a wire from the side there. So it goes all the way down there, it can power this. So that means when we use the other side, it's going to set off these two bits, and that means that the minecart is going to leave. So how do we set off from the other side? Well, the way I'm going to do it is with a little bit of redstone over here. See, there's this torch just hidden down there? Well, underneath that block which gets powered, there is a piece of, well, not a piece of redstone, a redstone piston. Wow, a sticky piston. And it goes down like this, and then it should power that. So that's why we've got a block here, and there's a repeater on the other side of that. So this wire right here gets powered, and it goes down to the other side, which is what this wire is going to do at the other end. So I think now what we need to do is just test that that gets powered. Can we see that? We sort of can. I think what we might be able to do is throw an item. That was a terrible throw. Let's try again. Let's jump, forward and throw. No, okay. How about this? Gonna go through the string? Yes, I saw that the redstone was powered. That was not the best to test, but I definitely saw that it was powered, so we know that that's going to work, which is awesome. And also you can see this wire got powered as well, but that's fine because it's just going back between the two. That actually means now that when you activate one of these, both of them get activated, which is technically not what we want, but I don't think it's going to break anything, so we could either leave it like that, or I could wire this up slightly different. I think that would just involve moving this over a little bit, yeah, and then having a repeater in either direction. I think we'll do that just in case there's something that I've overlooked here. So by having those two like so, then we can come down here. And actually that gets a little bit complicated because the length of the redstone is just about right. So we would need to put another piece of redstone right here. And when it comes to laying down these tracks, the furthest it can go is 15 blocks. So what I thought was a really cool way of doing this is to remove 4 from a stack, drag them across like that, and then you've got your 15s. So then you can run down this tunnel just holding right click and wait until it runs out. Also pay attention that you don't accidentally skip one, put down your repeater and move on to the next. So whenever you got to lay down a long track of redstone, that is a top tip for you right there. That'll save you a lot of double checking and counting. So everything is wired up and ready for a test. Moment of truth. I really hope this works. And I just put the lava up the top here. It looks kind of ugly. And then I noticed that those two are the source blocks. They're not flowing. So I kind of thought of a quick solution for this. I quite like it. And I think it'll work. If we remove those two and then place this, let's say, against the wall. So just there. It should drop down and everything below it should be flowing in theory. And because we're in the nether, it will all flow a little bit further. So that means it should all spread out and cover the space. And we've discovered a visual bug. That's not what I was expecting to see. What a strange one as well. Like, what colours are those? I don't think they're even, like, textures, are they? They're just colours. And apparently they've been selected for whatever reason. Strange stuff. Okay, I'll go and put that back how it was. Do you know what time it is? It's time for us to move on from this. I've spent a lot of time on here today, and I just realised we're running into a couple of things I've overlooked. You know, there's always things that get overlooked. It's mad. Yeah, so I realised now that the cart is going to come all the way down, and actually goes off the rail at the end. I thought it would have stopped because there's a gap, but I guess the speed is too much. Even though like the unpowered rail will slow you down, it kind of acts like brakes. It's probably not enough. Now we might be able to fix that by adjusting where they are and moving them back a little bit, but then we see another problem, which is when you arrive you're also going to set this off as well, and that probably ends up with things going around in a loop over and over again, right? I think so. I think there's a minecart at the other end. There should be one down there. Let's see if this actually works. So that should have... Oh! Okay, I had to move myself forward then. And we might or might not see the minecart coming past us on the other side. Wow, this makes it like difficult to test. No, the minecart is at the other end, so it looks like my wiring didn't work. That is kind of disappointing. And now they're both nudged off. What have I done? What? Oh my god, we're stuck underground. What's happened? Oh no, we're actually over here. Oh! I got pushed out of the minecart apparently. And now we've made a clock. With a minecart, incredible. That's all we managed to do today. Because this doesn't work, we've made a clock. I'm gonna give myself some time to think about this. Maybe come back to it in the next episode or another one. So there were a few more things that I was going to do, but I kind of ran out of time. I've put a lot into trying to figure out how to do this system right here, and still not quite got the solutions. So if you've got any ideas, of course, leave a comment down below and let me know. Hopefully we can figure this one out quickly. I kind of made well, the best of decisions with building this, but I'm sure we'll find a way to make it work. So anyway, that is it from me this episode of Hermitcraft. As always, if you've enjoyed yourself, feel free to leave a like. It does help and make a difference. But that's it. So as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.